Committee Themes Agenda. Good morning, beautiful, great morning. It is on the Bumper Breakfast. We're so glad we're back here with you this Tuesday morning, the 19th of April 2022. You know, the way the month is running and the way the year itself is running makes me feel like if you are still sitting on the side of the fence and you are not getting to work with your plan for the year, if you're still dilly-dallying, procrastinating about what you need to do or what you planned to do this year, and you think there is still time, the fourth month is almost finishing, which means the second quarter is hitting half in the next couple of days. 30 days for 3 months means 90 days gone already. And when the half of April has joined it already, you're saying 110 days at least have gone in the year 2020. What have you achieved? What have you done? What have you been able to do? What have you been able to say? What have you been able to put down on paper? How many dreams have you been able to actualize? How many of those visions and plans that you wrote down, have you been able to facilitate into becoming a reality? These are some of the things that you should be waking up to talk about. Some of the things you should be waking up to deal with at a critical time like this. And it's critical, not just for individuals. It's critical in our state here in Lagos. It's critical also in Nigeria. So yes, I look at it and I do say to myself that if I have been slacking in any way, I need to rise up, get to work, and get things done right about now. And for those who are fasting, assalamu alaikum to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters across Nigeria and across the world. I know people in Ghana are watching, people in Togo are watching. Thank you so much for always contributing to our show and sending your messages from time to time. I also want to especially appreciate the Christians, who joined the show on Friday and yesterday to just share with us a bit of what they did during the Easter celebrations. The hope that you have in Jesus will definitely stay with you and it will draw more closer to you in Jesus' name. All right, so on the Bumper Breakfast for this great morning, we will be taking a look at politics. Yesterday was festivity. I stayed away from politics. I denied. I told every single person that I wouldn't even dare. I told everyone I wouldn't even dare talk about politics yesterday. I just stayed away from it. But then today is Tuesday. With a combination of people I have in the studio this morning, I have no other choice but to just delve into the stories of politics. But I'd like to show you exactly how Lagosians and Nigerians, especially Osun and Lagos, let's see how they celebrated their Easter celebration. So the Osun State government, welcome back, apologies for that. The Osun State government organized a free train ride for residents of Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, along the corridor, the rail corridor, all the way to Osogbo. A lot of people were on that train. Some dropped along the way, all Osun State indigents anyway. As usual, as the former governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, was, joined before he left. This was also done by Governor Gboyega Oyetola's administration to ensure that Osun State residents are able to come to the state, to have fun. This was Osogbo on Sunday and Monday morning. So yes, Monday morning, you saw quite a number of parents took their children to, play at the different places in Osogbo. It was fun. That's the train. People returning back to Lagos. I thought this was the old train, but then I see it is, but I think they're using the standard gauge. This is the narrow gauge, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's the narrow gauge rail, if I'm correct. The standard gauge stops at Ibadan, thereabouts. But they did enjoy that train ride and they're back in Lagos last night. It was a free train ride, smooth and all that. And here in Lagos, despite all of the economic hardship that people are quoting, parents still thronged in the Busikan Park, just at Alausa Ikeja in front of the government house, and had fun, loads and loads of fun. from the games to the music to the drinks. Parents were there to, have fun with their family and friends. What's that? Is that draft or Scrabble? That should be Scrabble. Scrabble. Okay. So quite a number of games and all. All right. ShopRite, Ikeja City Mall wasn't also the same yesterday. They said there's no money. All of you went to Ikeja City Mall. I don't understand. Though. This year there is no money is a totally different thing. At Ikeja City Mall yesterday, I think they recorded millions of people, entering the Ikeja City Mall. You cannot imagine how much crowd, the traffic to enter Ikeja City Mall or come out of Ikeja City Mall at about 8 p.m. that I went there last night was crazy. It was still crazy. It was still full to the brim. I mean, the mall was full, the halls were full, the cinema was full. I think we just know how to have fun here in Lagos, irrespective of what our bosses say. We plan it, we put the money aside, and then when festivities come, we actualize that dream. So yes, welcome back from a very full Easter celebration. Opa, the guys in the studio also had the same. Good morning to you. I have Tolani Ojuri on my left hand side this morning. Tolani, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
And of course, the man who intends to declare. Have we declared? We're still declaring. This your suit, this one you're like, this suit, this suit looks like the one of somebody who wants to do. Abi?
Yeah.
This is how they dress when they're about to go and declare. Because when Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu dresses like this, wearing his suit, not holding his jacket on his, how he does it, over his shoulder. When he's completely dressed like this, something is happening.
Something is up.
Something is up.
Yes.
Olaika, good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Tobiasi. Good morning, Mr. J. Good morning, viewers.
Hope you all enjoyed the Easter holiday. Did you? Was there rice and plenty?
You I spent the Easter holidays indoors.
Indoors?
Yeah.
Was there cooking, blah, blah, blah? Just no normal thing?
Yeah. Just normal everyday.
Just the normal everyday.
Just the time to reflect.
Just,
Yeah.
How was it on your
I think same. I was indoor.
It was just normal.
No,
It's because I thought I was the only strange person. There was no jollof rice, buy chicken, all those. I didn't have that. So I was feeling like, Toby said, are you not a strange person right now? So I'm normal.
Yeah, you're normal.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's good. It's good. I'm normal. Let's take a look at the papers this morning. The news. I know a lot of people are expecting me to talk about this, but I'll be talking about it on the other side of the show, somehow towards the end. Let's talk politics first. But the front page of the Guardian newspaper, I want to talk about investors want more slice of 13.76 trillion naira pensioners sitting stocks. Only 7% of pension invested in equities. Adonri says market too risky, volatile for pension fund investment. Worries over government borrowing from funds despite growing default rate. PFAs invest 74.54 billion naira in infrastructure. CBN eyes funds for InfraCap. Terrorist gives Zamfara government 14 days to pay 30 million naira for killing wife and 2 others. That's a bold one. That's a really bold one. Lagos APC advisory body approved second-term bid for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu a diverse endorsement. PDP tells Yoruba Union. Ronaldo partner announced the death of their baby boy. Very sad. Buhari's critics are responsible for division in Nigeria. Additional replies Kuka. Pardoning corrupt persons impairs existence of anti-graft agencies, says Wike. Nigeria bankrupt or blessed without new constitution, says Afe Babalola. Course seeks all of society approach to curb insecurity as the chief of army staff. And you have a $418 million Paris Club loan refund. States want the federal government not to tamper with their funds. We've not left APC, says Yari's faction. Abdulaziz Yari yesterday in the papers was said to have crossed over, like jumped defense. Defense between them is not high. It's just small gutter that is between them. It's just APC and PDP. One on this side of the drainage, the other gutter. It's not drainage. One on this side of the gutter, the other one on the other side. It just jumped. But as people said, they did not go. They said they are still in APC. They did not go. But that's not my topic for this morning. I want to talk about former Plateau State Governor and Taraba State Governor who were magnanimously pardoned by the Council of State last week. Corruption, trial, jailed for 14 years. Joshua Dariye was pardoned between 2018 and 2022. That's about cumulatively, let's say, you served 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. So give or take, let's say you served about 6 of the 14 years. What do you think? Good move, bad move?
Well,
Which one?
There are two sides of the coin to this. One, we all know that when it comes to things like this is not the first time we hear that the council, give pardons to people.
Yeah.
And but from time immemorial, if I remember, my memory serves me well. What I know about pardoning, maybe there are some political prisoners, some conscience prisoners, some as different people that somehow are in prisons, and the council comes to say no. Okay, we have looked at this. Oh, this person, he has he's forgiven, or the different reasons why he shouldn't be there. Oh, the age, like they claim this time. Fine, that.
No, they said his health. They said he's been sick.
Age and health. Yes.
One was
they
sick
claim,
because his father was killed by.
But I think maybe now this is the first time I'm seeing a government that ruled on a campaign of fighting corruption. Now, this government is here. Now it got the office. Then decided to, with this, I will call it the governors forum, because you had more governors in that council.
The Council of State.
And these people are their colleagues.
So when we say Council of State here, Olanka, I need you to clarify.
Okay.
What constitutes our Council of State?
The president, the vice president, because the president is the chairman, the vice president is the vice chairman of that council. Then all former head of states, the part of the council, all governors
Currently
serving
36 state governors.
currently serving.
Okay.
The attorney general, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General and Minister one person, Minister of Justice, and like that. Again, I'm trying to remember the people that also that are part of this council.
But I think we have a good number, because the past head of state.
Basically, those are the people.
So
now,
we're talking about Jonathan. We're talking about
Obasanjo.
We're talking about Sambo and the rest
and
of them.
In this regard, you find out that if you look at the former presidents now, how many are they compared to the number of governors?
Okay, so you're looking at 4 people.
Then compared to the number of governors. Okay, so even if those 4 are saying no, and if they had to go by vote, you have their colleagues that are saying yes. But now the question we are asking, so if you can pardon corrupt politicians, people who
was jailed for stealing
2
billion naira,
like that. So if you could give them pardon, so what happened to the petty thieves? What happened to those people that are even in prison? I remember, we have not seen the list, because they were told that it's about 159, people. They've only told us about a few of them. Now, I remember back then in 2006, 7, thereabouts, if I remember, when former President Olusegun Obasanjo was there. Yes, we were. Then I was with the Legal Council, and I remember we were told to put up a list of people. We visit the prisons. We meet inmates. We interview them, and we know some of them, they have no business in the prison. Some of them may just be fined of 3,000 and they be in prison for 3 years. Some of them may be just, that one stole goats, yam, and all that. And they're there. Some of them, they had no business. Like I said, some of them were framed up. And by the time you check all this, so some of these people were given pardon. We brought out a list of some of them. And so I have not seen the entire list.
Okay.
So I'm not going to conclude based on
who else was on the list,
but on the celebrated ones
Yeah.
that has been presented before.
Dariye Inyame.
For me, is a no-no. Because what you have done is you have told us, particularly the upcoming ones, that corruption. You can do anything. Tomorrow somebody will come and forgive you. Now, don't forget also that there was so much that was put into this. EFCC came to say, it took us 11 years. It took us billions of dollars naira
to fight
to prosecute
this person.
Get all this,
And then you are pardoning the
that
person.
went into what? That means that the tax money, the taxpayers' money went into that. So much the logistics and all that went
Let's
into that.
not forget
So
that
much
Alan
fight
Mesia
went into
was
that.
also pardoned.
We have said that over time. Yes, Alan was also pardoned. Unfortunately,
If Alan Mesia would be pardoned,
yes.
what stops
So
him from
missing.
pardoning Dariye?
So missing, you have a family, a relative, or let's even say, don't let me use the relative. You're a benefactor of someone's whatever.
Yeah.
And tomorrow you find yourself in such place, such seat.
Okay.
No matter what the person has done, you say, no, if not for this person, maybe I will not be here. No, you will look at it. We are just human, and the way we think, the way we reason, and we will say, please, and don't forget, it's people they will come. But you remember, he did this, he did that, he did. What can you do to help? And that is what the governors has done. What they have done, because
but one
this
of
is
them,
one of their colleagues, and they're not just
they
going.
have
Yes,
their
and
own.
the opportunity has shown its face to see, okay, who can we pardon?
Okay,
And they presented these people before.
let me
them.
go down this route. Solani, Governor Nyesom Wike has been known, the River State governor has been known to always be on the other side of the fence when it comes to issues like this.
Yeah.
He publicly condemned this pardon, and he said there is absolutely no need having anti-corruption agencies in the country if this is what we're going to do: pardon the people who were prosecuted and jailed for corruption.
For me, it's
He's one of the governors.
if you do the crime, you must be ready to serve the time. And just like he said earlier, that you have the Council of the 37 state governors, and these governors over time, over previous administrations, they've always shown that if you are this person is one of us, and the camaraderie is always there. Yeah, the camaraderie is always
Irrespective
there.
of what party the person comes from.
Irrespective of where the person is from, it's always there, because it's like, oh, okay, if this happens to this person, what happens to me if it gets to be my turn? You've forgotten that. I mean, there have been times that this same set of the governors forum, try to impose candidates, either presidential candidates or one thing or the other. So they've gotten so powerful. It's more like the way it's even looking now is like it was something that the presidency did to pacify them. And only if we have our records straight, going back to what he said earlier, that how much did it cost us to get this
To
guy
prosecute.
behind bars, the legal fees, the cost of the cost of transporting them, the cost of feeding. So it's more like it's a waste. It's all a waste. Wike is just a lone voice in yes, he's a lawyer, but his response
on Wike
is quite
on Wike, the statement, because I always like to separate issues from sentiment. On the statement he made, well, it's a good one.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't have the moral justification to make that statement. And how do I mean? You are one of the governors.
You are part of.
You did attend the meeting. Not that you did not attend the meetings. Your deputy that was supposed to be representing you was on Zoom. Was doing that via Zoom, and she was quiet
all through.
All through. So now, what moral justification? Because
please, let's go back to the fact that she was quiet all through.
Yeah.
Why was she in the meeting if she was quiet?
Thank you. I do not know. To observe.
She's at the meeting to represent the state.
So
she's not even on observer status. She's part of the meeting. She's the participant.
She asked a question. She asked a question, and
Yeah.
I said maybe she was there to observe. And now, if you have done that, meaning that you slept on your right.
On your right.
To speak. If Wike was at that meeting,
you will scream.
Then go to the meeting and tell them no. Let the world hear your voice that
this was
you were not. I mean, you didn't approve of that. You did not do that. Now it's like you have a meeting and we say whatever we do at this meeting is binding on whoever that's supposed to be at the meeting and refuse to show up. That was what he has done. So you have no moral justification to speak because you slept on your right.
Exactly.
Of audience. You were not there. Your deputy was on Zoom or whatever online and kept quiet all the way. No.
So silence means silence in that
case means content. Just politicizing.
Just playing to the gallery.
After all, he made that statement also while he was addressing his party faithfuls while talking about his presidential bid. But of course, he's been criticized appropriately by.
I have my reservation on Wike.
There's been
Wike that was insulting all the traditional rulers in the state. Meanwhile, he went to Kano and he was banned to another traditional ruler. So Wike is just a politician.
He's just swaying from side to side. Charity begins. I mean, charity begins.
I just from Wike is for me. No,
As a matter of fact, the deputy governor, Dr. Ipalibo Banigo, switched off a camera throughout. She was at the Zoom meeting with a camera that was off. So they didn't even know
she was there.
whether she was present or she just joined and walked away.
You know, until recent, I think last month or thereabout, that it was on social media that do you know that Rivers has a deputy governor?
As a
yes, it was an opinion poll that do you know what's her name? And people went to
Dr. Banigo.
And a picture came up.
She's a female
deputy governor. So Rivers State, you know, in our subconscious, it's like
there's no deputy governor.
They have a deputy governor, really, true, and
all,
all kinds of stories started coming up. But a lot of people had never.
It's sad, and because they know the Nigerian people.
Yeah,
that's the reason why someone like Wike would say he wants to become president. There are people that should not.
All actors will come and play.
People that should not even be seen. People that should not even speak. People should not be. I mean, should not be giving audience.
He has said it over time that
it
is right to show interest in the president.
All of us, yes,
and
we all have right to do that. We don't want to dispute it. I'm only just picking the moral
justification
for some of the things all these leaders, so-called leaders, let me use that, so-called leaders, what they do, and they put it to our nose. You that, like you just said, a lot of people don't even know this guy has a deputy governor. And you want to bring that to federal level?
I think people, let's talk about this one. Front page story of the Nigerian Tribune talks about Afe Babalola speaking to the federal government, elaborating more on what he thinks should happen for 2023. He says we should suspend the 2023 elections, set up a 6-month interim government, and proposes a new constitution that will provide for part-time legislators, that the president should not be more than 60 years old and of clean bill of health and educated. Says Nigeria faces bankruptcy due to activities of corrupt leaders. I want to come from this angle. Is it a possibility for us as a people? We've had 2 presidents who have held issues while in office. From our late president, Yaradua, Umaru Musa Yaradua, is one. President Muhammadu Buhari is the other. let's talk about how possible is it for whoever becomes president or is going to be, because we cannot ask the party to do it. They can manipulate whatever. But at the level of becoming president, can we set up a system where we can check the person's bill of health through a system that Nigerians set up, not government? Let's look at the 78-year-old president of the United States, Joe Biden. Yes, he's advanced in age,
Yeah.
but clean bill of health. Proven clean bill of health. His health status, his medical reports is in the public space. Everything that has to do with him is in the public space, including that of his children and their wives. Even his dog, the health of his dog is in the public space. But in Nigeria, there is this fear. Because I see one of the biggest things that people are talking about, the candidacy for this president, for 2023 is, we don't want somebody who's sick. We don't want somebody who's not well. We don't want somebody who's... Is there a possibility of setting up a system like that? Is it something that you think politicians will welcome?
It's also to do with the people. If people can't get a kind of government, it's not, nobody will come and shove it down your throat that, oh, this is how. It's like we always want kind of things done for us. In a way, the society should see this kind of things out. The same people that are saying, oh, we want a young president, and if the older ones come with money, you collect it. You collect it and start running your mouth for them and start talking for them. I was like, oh, it's this, it's got pedigree, it doesn't matter, blah blah blah, it's okay. But for us, it's number one, I think it's not so much for the individual. We need structures in place. We need to strengthen our structures. We need to strengthen our institutions. Then transparency too is very key. Not just all about money. We want to know where you're coming from, where you are now, even health-wise and in other areas. It's really we, the people, that would dictate. Maybe we are not matured to that level. I really don't know, because people just talk based on sentiment. Oh, this person had done this, had done that, and you know that this person definitely is struggling. This person is struggling with one thing or the other. But we just like, let's just. We knew before we got here that there was a problem, but we focused on the individual. So if we don't really check ourselves now,
and then we started complaining
we
about
will
the
just
fact
still
that the
go
individual travels
from frying
abroad
pan
for
to fire.
medical
We already
care,
know
that it will be good.
one, two, three of those trying to get into office that there's a problem, but we still just dancing around because.
So you think
the
we
way-
the people are the unserious
It's
ones?
we the people, because the way our constitution is, I really don't
Don't forget
see,
that we're in Nigeria where health reports can be manipulated, though.
but we know we don't even need it. We don't need any help. But we know we see these things. Some issues are so obvious. Remember there was a time that there was this campaign, and the president was calling, are you sick or something like that? Are you okay? Because it was so obvious, everybody knew there was a problem. So why trying to color it? We have something similar now, and we are still trying to color it. And the truth is, we're going to pay for it. If we close our eyes thinking, oh,
So you're saying Afe Babalola
Yes.
is correct somewhat in saying Nigerians
Someone
should
like Afe Babalola.
demand for a healthy and educated president.
I'm quite surprised that's coming from him, because he's been a lawyer to, I think, one or two past presidents.
One and the federal government.
Yeah, and the federal government. And of course, he knows very well how our constitution is. He knows where the landmines are. So it's like, okay,
He's demanding for a new constitution.
That's why it's demanding for a
How?
new constitution.
He said the
because-
constitution is not
yeah,
going to work.
because we all know that the constitution is faulty, and for what is proposing
Yeah.
to work, it means, or for them to accept whatever that is proposing, that means we have to jettison the current constitution.
What we have now.
We have another one. Now, for us to have another one, we have interim. We jettison this one. Then we have an interim government, and he advised on people that can be put together to form the interim government. And from there, they can come up with another constitution. Maybe the part-time, the National Assembly,
part-time legislators who
come together, and it's now our own constitution. We can look at it and come up with constitution. And in that constitution, then he then went further to state, okay, we should have not more than 60 years health-wise and all. So these are propositions. Now the question is, the crop of politicians we have today, will they embrace this?
But I want to, before you go there, because the politicians are still part of the people you suggested. He said the members of the interim government should be drawn from all living former presidents and vice presidents.
Yes.
Some selected ministers and governors, and delegates of prominent professional associations. I am asking the question. Who selects this? Who is going to select?
Thank you. A good one.
Who is going to do this?
No, don't forget about the former head of state and their vice are not coming for any election.
Yes,
anymore.
definitely.
So them coming in, of course, and again, at that time, they are patriots. And at that time, what should be in their mindset is how to fix Nigeria. So it's not out of
Who is
place.
the head of this
Now,
interim government?
that is still this. Probably they will look for maybe the oldest among the head of the oldest living head of state. Maybe Baba Yabo. I mean, Baba Yabo. To still be the head for that purpose. And look at what is also said, the professionals and all that. So now these are not politicians. So now looking at
these are not politicians. People who are frolicking with politicians.
Like you see, there will be a molder of getting these people. I mean, to bring them to what happened? How did they get the people for the confab? So the confab, you remember that number of them were not politicians.
And
they were,
so don't forget they didn't use the document.
I'm just saying that number of them were not politicians. Yeah, we all know that they didn't use the government. I mean, the document. That's why I'm saying that yes, the proposal is cool, but then whether this crop of politicians, people that is about. All of them is about next year now, what they can get. So, no, but all this that Baba has dropped, well, he is an elder statesman. So, of course, what he should be doing right now, anyone at that age, is to think of, and say the truth to the power, then how to make sure that the country is a better state, because any moment from now, all of them may move. And so what would they see, the legacy they left behind? Oh, you were there, and they will get to heaven. Well, sorry, I'm going to use that. Get to heaven, and the angel, God is asking them, when you were one of the elder statesmen, what did you do? What was your contribution? So, I just made money in Nigeria, and I came back home.
I lived well.
Now,
I gave my children money.
So this, for me, is a good one. Now, talking on the health issues, look, I'm not particular. I don't want a deteriorated health person to come, so that is what we are putting our money on, and no time for governance.
What if the person has the money to take care of his own health?
No, thank you. I'm going there. Now the question now is not just he may even spend his own money, but then the time he may not be able to govern. Governance is key. Do you understand? So it means now a lot of people in Nigeria, they will say, that's a private whatever.
No.
You are coming to the public domain.
You are coming to the public domain.
You want to be my president, then you become my property.
Yes, I have to know.
So you owe me everything about you. That is why they will say,
need to make it public.
Declare that. Let me know what before you come.
So if you are required to declare your assets and you want to keep your health private.
That's why you see, it gets to me when I hear.
Did I tell you that President Muhammadu Buhari was his assets were declared? You have a code of conduct bureau that will determine, that will demand for your assets declaration. Who is demanding for health declaration?
Don't forget that when President Buhari did that, and the bureau, they were saying that others did not. He made a statement. He said, well, it's not by force. He chose to declare. So if others are not, there's nothing he can do. He can't force them to declare. Now, listen, on the health part, Joe Biden, with all the health conditions and all that, not too long ago, he went for a surgery. And the VP took over the office and all that. He's back on his feet. You can be healthy. Let me tell you the truth, Tommy C. Almost all of us are not well. Yes. Almost all of us are not well. We are seeing ourselves like, you don't know what I have. I don't know what you have. You don't know what he has. So it's when this thing comes out that the whole thing, the
but don't you
secret
now
is revealed.
think that even though we are covered and
Yeah.
a lot of people do not see, many people look healthy but are not.
Very well. So
Don't you
what
now
I'm
think it is
saying
now necessary for that public declaration?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't have issues with that. Yes, if you are coming to be my president, then I should know your health status so that I'm not making any mistake. We know what we faced in the past years.
Yeah.
So we don't want to go through that. Yes, declare for me. But I just believe in fact, not assumption, not rumor, not what people think. For instance, people claim, a particular candidate is not well. Oh, that he went to the he went for one surgery and all that. And the last time I checked, I think that was the first time perhaps seeing the man, going for that. So we don't know what he went for. And so if we don't have a fact, I agree with you. Present to us. Let us see your health status. Whatever can happen. Knowing knowing your health status doesn't mean that even while you are there, something else may not come up and all that. But it's good for me to even, this one, anybody can have this. This can happen to anybody because you may even be okay and you are there in the course of it, time, age, the different factors, and suddenly something trigger the system shut down and some part of the system shut down. Our president has this. So anybody can feel sick. Anybody can be strong. God can bless you. You can have the grace of you spending the 8 years and nothing will happen.
And nothing will happen to you at all.
We remember our former president. President Obasanjo. How many times did you hear that the man flew out for one medical
thing or the other?
Just say
God, I mean, so Baba Yabu. So well, but I agree with you. I agree with I call him Baba Afe Babalola. So because it's like a father to me, and I worked in the firm of his first child before, and so we had a relationship there. So with that, a good one. But will these people embrace it? Tell us if your health. I should know. But what we do here, because it's a growing democracy. But the funny part of the story is, if it's a growing democracy, are we ready to grow it? Are we ready to follow and make sure that yes, it's a strong democracy, or we are still doing? We still, the one that favors us
from
the one that favors,
and we get to pay for this thing so dearly.
So the point is that since we know we are paying for these things, and we have these people that we elected into office from every constituency representing us at the level of the National Assembly. They call them members of the House of Representatives. How come we are not hearing some of them voice out this clamor? Is it that Nigerians are not noisy enough? Or they cannot hear us?
No, we are not active enough. We start from how many of us know our councillors? How many of us know where our constituency offices are located? Because they think more like goes like, this is what I feel. My representative at the State House of Assembly, my representative at the National House of Assembly, I want to see you. By the time 5-6 of us go, we want to see. This is the problem we have. And he knows that, these people are coming back again. That this is what the issue is. This is what they're trying to put. But it's like most of us, once we have a roof over our head, we've got maybe a meal a day, and we can move from one point to the other. We just cool like that. You can come make the noise, this and that.
Especially on social media.
Go for your neighborhood, your party primaries, and you count your people in your kind of social status. How many will you find there? You find them there. Maybe they came for their father-in-law, or their dad, or maybe their sibling or something. People who just come out on their own want to even see how at party level. Not even. I want to see how this thing is done. I want to be politically active. As long as you're not at that level, they're still.
Unfortunately, the
scratching
system will run, and like, sorry, there's no how I will say this without going back to the constitution. The system will run, the constitution and all that will not allow what you're saying. You know why? At the state level, the member of House of Assembly are attached to the governor. For instance, you going to vote. Now, the orientation you have when you're voting for Mr. Governor, they tell you the party. Now, you go vote for Party A. Now, Party A, Governor, Party B, House of Assembly, Party B, Party A, sorry, Governor, Party A, House of Assembly, Party A, you were a member of the same thing at the federal level. The reps are also, and the Senate are also attached to the president. Now, these people, they hardly come to campaign. You don't know that. Because the party, who campaigns, you see, the president, the governor, they are the ones, and the chairman, even the chairman of local government, because the governor, they have done abracadabra and all that, and they know they have their choice, you know. Now, so at that level, the people that are supposed to be representing you, you don't know that. You didn't vote for that. Because what you have voted, who you voted for was the party of Mr. Governor, of Mr. President, and automatically you have thank you. And what some of us have said is this: separate this. Let this man, let Mr. House of Rep come and campaign, and let me vote for whoever I choose to vote for on Mr. House of Rep, and not attach it to Mr. President or the House of Assembly to Mr. Governor. If we still continue that way, we will be having this crop of people. Why? Because it's the political party that will still present all this, and they will do consensus, and the Baba will say, oh, this is the candidate that is going for one thing. They are not representing you. They are representing their godfathers. They are representing the people that put them there, the party that put them there. That is why you will not hear any voice. That is why they will go there, and whoever that wants to sponsor any, that's why you don't hear them sponsor, reasonable bills. Why?
Because I was just
it's a decision of the party.
That our lawmakers,
you can't hear anything because they are not representing you.
And I'm just wondering.
That is why you will see somebody will go and put one tank and say he's giving the community water. That is his own project. That's his own community project. Or one will go and put.
What you've said now, people are waking up.
But do you know people are still judging the politicians by this type of projects that they did in their constituencies? The work of a lawmaker is actually to go to the House of Assembly and, sponsor bills
that would
change the life of his people.
And not only that, because that is why there's room in the constitution for them to say, okay, I have a constituency, I'm representing the constituency. Now, before then, they used to give them money they will allocate in their budget. They will allocate some money, let's say 1 naira to your. But now, what they do, they now tell you, bring the project you want to do for your. If project is 2 naira, then they allocate 2 naira for that project. Then you then bring vendors that will execute those projects. But we know how we know how they do
because the member is still involved. Let's talk about this 2023 elections. It's coming whether we like it or not, and it's close. Parties are beginning to get up for sale forms in the APC. PDP is selling already, and the primaries will take place very soon. But INEC is crying out to say the spate of insecurity in the country is rising sporadically. What do we do? 1,149 Nigerians have been killed. INEC has suffered about 42 attacks. Electoral violence here. in the last couple of years. And the commission has lost over 9,000 card readers. They're planning a risk assessment as we speak. They said there is no result for violence-mad polls INEC has threatened. And we're talking about the governorship elections of Ekiti and Osun that is coming.
Elections will take place. There was a particular politician at the House of Assembly. During the last election, things were bad. Things were equally bad like this, going towards the election, and he was challenged that, how come you are here? There was no election in your state because there was so much of insecurity. And he said there was election in my state because there was election at the IDP camp. Yes. 7. So it's more like there will be elections. It is INEC. They've come out talking. That's not the first time. During the last election too, we felt in some parts of the country it won't happen. It would happen. Elections will come and go. Worst case scenario, they would vote extra money and everybody moves on. All the INEC offices that were burned in somewhere in the southeast and all that, they are card readers. All these things will be, if politicians want to do, they will do.
Fortunately, sorry, I still have to go back to the constitution. That's the reason why we're saying this constitution we need to jettison. We need to tear it and shred it and burn it. Sorry if I have to go that route. Why? What I see play out in this part of the world is selection, not election. And I'm going to go this route. How many people were registered voters at the last general election? Now, probably we had out of over 200 million of the people. Let's even give or take. Let's say children are 60. So, meaning people that cannot vote. So, let's say we have 120, 130. And I think from what I heard, about maybe 68 or 70 plus, whatever, registered. Now, all the total votes, all, not just one party, were not 30 million.
Nationwide.
Nationwide. That's, I said, all total votes were not 30 million. And the constitution allow that to say, okay, yes, we have an election. And he is saying that, okay, he's looking at the total from 36 states. He's looking at a particular number, the one that had highest votes in this and all that, and he put everything together. Now we now have someone out of the 30, maybe the one that is now the president, got less than 15 million votes. Over 121, whatever. And we say we had election and we have a president. My proposition to the new constitution should be, if you do not get so number of votes
out of the total,
then we cannot say we've had election. Meaning we have to go back. But you see, and now that may sound ambiguous. It may sound, how will it happen? Yes, there will be, because one, your people must trust in your election.
Yeah.
Our people don't trust in our elections. That's why you see our people sit at home and they say they know, ooh, I beg, I can't kill myself. I remember the last general election. I was an observer. I was out there, and I can tell you what I saw. The young people were not there to vote. The young people that I saw were agents. The people that came out to vote were older people. So now, and that is the people that have chosen a president for us. And now, like you said, the ID camp, and the rest of them, now we saw what they said happened in some part of the country, some underage, and you call it election. So, like you, I will go back to what you said earlier to say that there will still be an election. The grammar with security here, security there. There are places at the general election. There are places in some state that election didn't take place because of those security, whatever. Yeah. Did he say we didn't have election? We had election. And we got some numbers. And so this will continue until we fix that, and we can't do that without a
So
new
we have,
constitution.
we have people who are in office as we speak who did not even attract up to 15% of the voters in their
Sorry,
locality of
okay,
constituency.
fantastic, a good one. Senator Abiru
Yes.
Okay.
in Lagos.
In
You want to
Lagos.
break my table now?
I'm not breaking table, sorry, but we have to say it. How many votes did he get? The when
But the people did
Oshinowo
not go out
died.
to vote.
Thank you. When Oshinowo died, and he came
It
up,
wasn't for lack of voters
how many
card.
people?
I remember that day I was working and streets were empty.
Not even 9%.
They were there waiting till evening. People just didn't come out to vote en masse.
Not 9%, and that is representing a constituency of how many people?
Representing everybody.
Everybody.
So
And
when
we
you
speak
don't
for who?
participate, you actually
So these are the,
your consent is as
now,
good as
and you have
gold.
told us that even not 9%, but you have said there was an election.
Election.
Wasn't there an election?
There was.
There was an election.
Doesn't
there
the
was.
Constitution permit such
That's why I
election to be
said the
counted?
constitution has said there's an election. So I'm going by what we have in the constitution. There was an election.
And he won.
And he won.
So
by
it
what?
still
by the
goes back. It still
parameters-
goes back to we need to be
We need
active.
to be-
We need to wake up. We need to be active.
So when
We-
you assume that you are not, I'm not voting because I don't like the candidate. You have
What
you
I'm
have given
saying,
your consent. Your
If
consent
we,
is as good as
if we
given.
go, look, you know why it can't work until we fix what I'm talking about. People have lost it. They don't trust your system.
Your system.
You can't get. Look, if I don't trust you, even when you are talking to me, I'll just be saying, yeah, you're very correct. You're right. Within me, I know I can't trust you.
Which means if this constitution
Because
is
over
actually
time-
amended before the 2023 general elections, you and I know that it cannot take effect
Yeah.
until after that election. So
Look,
it's as
look,
good
look,
as
you know, when I talk, I am not talking based on immediate action. I believe in miracles. I'm not a miracle working God. I believe in miracles. But I am not saying this kind of a thing. I need a result today. Or I need a result. That's why I've been telling the younger ones, and all of you claiming president, you can't just fly. You want to become president. Relax. But you need to put a system, a movement in place. Over time.
Over time, that would.
So I'm not saying this has to happen before.
time.
Before the next general election next year. If we can achieve it, why can't we just put a motion in place? If you're a visionary, you should. We know we saw what happened in Dubai. We saw what happened in different places. They had their dreams, and okay, in 10 years, this is where we are going. In 20 years, this is where we are going. But if we have a vision 2020, vision whatever, we don't even see any vision 101.
We don't have any vision here.
You know,
Eh?
We don't.
What about the medium-term expenditure framework that you people have been planning? The Nigeria has. People have vision.
So what was the plan? So where are we now?
President
And where do
Muhammadu
we
Buhari had plans.
where is vision
Before-
2020?
Okay, before his own plan.
This is 2022.
Yes, Baba Yabo. Our daddy had vision. After our daddy's vision, we had other visions, and after that vision, we had much more.
They were.
visions.
I think there was vision 2010.
Yes.
2020.
2020
2020 was quite popular
Yeah,
because
yeah,
way
yeah,
back
yeah,
then,
yeah.
And we're in 2022, and we didn't see Jack.
Let's go to this very big topic that has been trending on the pages of social media and across Nigeria today.
The next general election in Nigeria became the focal point as discussants say the urgent need to improve, if not totally change, the leadership recruitment process that produces the country's leaders. They believe the theme of the lecture, leadership recruitment, the missing anchor in our national development, is apt and timely.
So far, we have been repeating the same mistakes. We have been committing the same errors over and over again. We have not been getting results. No angel will come from heaven to come and fix Nigeria for us. We will fix Nigeria by electing the right people. Let us reject those who have no capacity to deliver on the critical demands of the time.
Stakeholders at the event not only supported the submission, but provided practical ways to change the narrative.
When 3 people set out on a journey, they should appoint one of them as a leader. If an otherwise mundane task of clubbing together requires that a leader should be appointed to provide leadership for a temporary association in a trip, then how much more important then is leadership to the development of the society?
The delegates, they are the ones to be the most qualified people in democracy. Unfortunately, and in most cases, they are the least qualified. How can you give what you didn't have? Delegates, they didn't know what is leadership. They didn't know what is required of a leader, and they will be the first people to choose for us.
People that we see as our leaders, they are not committed. They cannot make sacrifice for us. They are not dedicated. Because person that is riding on the horse, you can see how big the horse can be. That person will use all manner of things to manipulate the movement of the horse.
Similarly, the role of the Independent National Electoral Commission in changing the leadership recruitment process cannot be undermined, as it plays a key role in the electoral process that largely determines the electorate's mandate.
They invariably achieve this because the special purpose vehicle for getting into elections, namely political parties, are captured by so-called money bags or godfathers and powerful patrons, and they operate undemocratically to install clients and otherwise very unprepared and untrustworthy people in elective positions.
It remains to be seen how the submissions from the stimulating intellectual discourse would be maximized and in turn contribute positively to the desired and expected leadership change in subsequent elections in Nigeria.
Are organized here in the city. Quite a number of big weeks were there. Everything that was said there was very important. But let's talk about the story that has been trending on the pages of social media for quite a number of days. Quite a sad one, quite painful as a parent, quite painful as a young woman, quite painful as a Nigerian child. We're talking about the outrageous sex video that has been trending on social media. Many do not even know that sharing that video attracts a 14-year imprisonment in Nigeria, in Lagos particularly. So if you have been sharing the sex video of the Christian student in the name of showing your friends and showing your colleagues, showing, you are playing with a 14-year jail term, which would be enforced like that. Don't forget that internet is now monitored. Don't forget that, oh, they say WhatsApp is encrypted and all of that. But for those who are posting it, for those who are sharing it, punishment awaits all of you. This was a child that was sent on a trip out of the country by the school with the permission of the parents, because the parents paid for it. And this child was involved, let me put it that way, in this sex wrong with other colleagues, maybe albeit 2 years older than she is, but she was involved in this. Outrage, the Lagos State government has shut down the schools indefinitely. But somebody said to me yesterday, wasn't that what they did with Owen College? They will soon open them back. Because parents, the person said to me, parents like you, whose children are students of that school, will pressurize the government into reopening those schools. It has nothing to do with the government.
Yeah.
But this kind of matter cannot be just looked at anyhow. You have children in boarding school. What's your perspective about this idea? Oh God, who takes it first?
We have a major problem on our hands from all angles. The school system is really faulty, and this news I think broke up on social media like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah, on Saturday.
And I was just thinking, if it was a public school, the news won't gain traction like that. What gave that story traction was, number one, rape. Number two, the name of the school involved, and that was it broke on social. It broke. I mean, the news came on. I think Twitter to be particular.
It came on Instagram by UB Franklin. UB Franklin shared it, but didn't put the name of the school. Just said one of the popular schools in Lagos, and then gradually started.
I just saw the name of the school, and this thing happened over a month ago. And they have been back and forth on the issue. I think something went wrong somewhere, and UB Franklin broke
he got contact with the mother of the child, and when they shared the story with him, he brought it out.
And even at that, he came up with rape.
Yeah, because that was what the mother was still saying in the video.
Because I quite agree that sharing the video, it's a no-no. And from all angles, and I'm very sure this case will have been known to the Ministry of Education, which is the supervising ministry. Will have been, the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. I'm sure they must have heard something. A month is a long time.
But do you know that then, Olayinka, if the story had been known, because even the mother of the child was shown the video by another parent.
But they called,
according to her.
But the school called her, I think, after a while, because when the case was going on, the school, according to her, that the school made a phone call to her and they told her not to tell her husband and all. Like I said,
they apparently took the child and told her they were going to do a COVID test.
A COVID test, and that kind of thing happened, and you didn't say anything.
And
you didn't come out to say.
Took the child to go and do pregnancy.
It's like we have problems from all sides. We have problems because we have monitoring and evaluation department, quality control at the same Ministry of Education. And to say that, government is not working, I'm sure they must have known these things. They must have known a lot of these things. It's just like this is just one case out of many. Because between last 48 hours, we started having all sorts of stories coming up, all kind of funny videos coming up, all kind of schools coming up, the names and all that, and people are even saying, the public schools. It is, in fact, that is like
very rife and very wrong, and very, very bad.
So, and I mean, Lagos State closing all the branches of Christians was like, what are you guys doing? Are you okay? It happened in VGC.
It happened in Dubai, actually.
Yeah, I mean the school, the branch
of the school where it happened.
They were taking the child out of school for pregnancy test and all that. It happened in that, and closing all
well, I'll go another route, but just to probably just add to that. You see, there are allegation flying everywhere. Because the school denied, they didn't conduct any pregnancy test. It was COVID, blah, blah. Parents said that, and the rape wasn't rape, and like that. Well, like you said, 14 years, and sometimes I ask myself, why do some people share some videos
on social media?
I don't know why. Even now, if you want to get a visa, maybe US or something, or renew, whatever, they will ask for your
social media handles.
And there's a purpose for that. So if they storm on anything like that, forget it. You're not going anywhere. And that one would disqualify you. And again, look, I don't know why. This is minor. These are minor.
This is a 10-year-old child.
Now, that is The route I said I want to go is this. There are two people here that I will have to, use my armor, and the parent and the school. The Bible says, train your child the way he should grow. So when he grows, he will not depart from it. I'm coming to the school, but let's even say that these are minors and all sorts they do together. But if you train your child, see, look, parents are not Holy Spirits, whatever. It's not as if they know they are perfect everything. You can even train your child, and look, that child, because that child go to school. Now, if you train and others didn't train their children, and it mix up their friends, and again their age, influence and all that, so anything can even happen. But do your part, because probably if parents have done their part, for instance, the video claim that they saw, I didn't see it, that they said the video it didn't look anything like it. That they were having fun, and that the girl was even eating her chest to say that is me when they were seeing the videos and all that, meaning it's possible the girl, that was not the first time,
obviously.
So
this is a conversation.
So now parents are not aware. Some parents, they go in the morning, they come back late, they don't know what is happening. They don't even talk with their words. They don't engage them. Their words cannot even talk to them. And all sorts is happening. And this is one that is here to us. There is everywhere. And now again, their parents today, when you even try to checkmate a child, a minor of 10, of 12, they will tell you, the world is changing, it's their world now, things are changing, let them be, and all that. And they tell you are too disciplined, you are too strict, and all that. We know, look, my mother left us, meaning she died, probably I was just 9. Here I am today.
We need to go.
Our parents need to do a lot. Then the school didn't do enough also.
We'll have that conversation.
We'll
have that conversation, because I remember the last time we had this conversation about schools, Olayinka and I had that conversation with Dr. Demi on phone. We will be having that conversation again next week, and it will be about the conduct of our schools. Let's just find a way to look at it. Parenting is becoming a very big problem in Nigeria, and I cannot believe what I heard happened in that video. But of course, tomorrow is another time on the Bumper Breakfast. A big thank you to Tolani Ojuri and Olayinka Daniels for joining us this morning on the show. We'll see you again tomorrow morning bright and early. Don't stop watching MITV. Have a good day.